British weather never disappoints. Now, as a big fan of the Mazda MX-5, the idea of a new two-seater rear-wheel drive roadster coming to the UK was a very exciting prospect. And when I heard that that model was going to be heavily based on the MX-5, I thought, okay. And of course, that new model is the Fiat 124 Spider, a name that dates back 50 years to the original 1966 Spider. And it's actually design quirks from the original model that make it to this one that make it unique when compared to the MX-5. You've got the crease that runs down the belt line, you've got these indents in the bonnet, the big gaping grille, and in fact, every panel used on this car is different to the MX-5. But it's not just aesthetics that set these two models apart. Fiat insists that the Spider is actually set up to feel quite different to drive. But both models are built on the same chassis and side by side in the same factory. So how different can they really be? So the first major difference is that the Spider uses a 1.4 litre petrol engine mated to a snappy 6-speed manual gearbox. And this 1.4 petrol features a turbocharger, and that means that unlike the naturally aspirated 1.5 litre or 2 litre petrols in the MX-5, you get a big bubble of power waiting to be burst at 3,000 RPM. And that lets you feed on its 240 Newton meters of torque. What that does mean, however, is that acceleration below the 3,000 RPM mark is a bit underwhelming, and that's where more linear powered naturally aspirated models like the MX-5 do reign supreme, even if you do have to cane it a bit more. Don't get me wrong though, the Spider still loves to climb all the way to the rev limiter, and it's still got a nice characterful moan from the exhaust when you rev it out. And if you do cane it from a standing start, it'll take 7.5 seconds to reach that all important 62 miles per hour mark. It's not just the engine that's different though, the Spider moves and feels different on the road due to unique springs and steering setup, which ultimately means it leans a bit more in the corners due to the cushier suspension, and the steering feels ever so slightly weightier. But you still get that razor sharp turn-in like the MX-5, and it does grip the road like a Scalextric car. And yeah, if you do get a bit physical with it, you can still have the back end out. There's no limited slip differential in the Spider though, unlike the 2 litre MX-5, so there is a limit to how far you can push it, particularly in wet conditions like this, and that along with its better road and wind insulation further enforce the fact that the Spider is built more for comfortable convertible cruising rather than apex attacking madness like the MX-5. But I think if you were to pull up next to an MX-5 at the traffic lights in the Spider, you can be fairly confident that it can hold its own. The interior of the Spider has got a leg up on comfort as well. I mean, neither of the models are particularly plush, but these added inserts on the doors do make it a smidgen more luxurious. But apart from that, you're in an MX-5. I mean, it's the same infotainment screen and rotary dial. You've got the same steering wheel and brilliant low-down seating position, and you've got that same one-handed folding roof mechanism. Kit-wise, the 3 trims to choose from, with the Lusso mid-range trim being the best one in terms of essentials and tech. So you get the likes of sat-nav, you get heated leather seats, you get a rear reversing camera, and you also get automatic climate control. And in terms of convenience and cubbies, there's a few dotted around, quite handy, and you've also got these removable and configurable cup holders. The Spider has actually got 10 litres more boot space than the MX-5 at 140 litres, but that's not a massive difference. So this boot is still better suited to small amounts of shopping bags or some soft weekend bags. But I do like the way Fiat have whacked the badge on there. Regardless of what model you go for, whether it's the Spider or the MX-5, both of them offer a lot of car for their £20,000 or so price tag. But side by side, the Spider does sit in between the MX-5's 1.5 litre and 2 litre petrols. But the Spider is slightly less efficient due to its turbocharger, with a claimed average of around 44 miles per gallon, although we've been getting between 35 to 40 miles per gallon. But time for one last blast. So which is better, the Fiat or the Mazda? Well, it's really not that simple. I wish it was, and at first it can be difficult to put your finger on it, but the two models do feel different to drive. And the best way you can describe the 124 Spyder is that it feels like an MX-5 with a comfort pack added, which if you're after the roadster feel of the MX-5 but you don't quite want the visceral feel that goes with it, then it's great. Me personally, I think I'd have to go for the Mazda. But what do you think? Would you go for the Mazda or would you go for the Fiat? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click on the inquire button to find out more details about this car, or for any other models, visit carkeys.co.uk. And to watch more reviews, click one of the links on screen now.